Caleb, is there anything that you guys learned in the first open week that you applied in terms of preparation in this last open week?
Definitely just figuring out who we are. Obviously, we have an idea of what we were going to do that first week, and some things work, some things don't. So just being able to adjust off of that and build on the things that work for us, but also finding our weak spots. Obviously just being a better overall team from that, and so that's been a huge part of our just development as a team overall. And as we carry ourselves through the season, we know that we can't continue to grow if we don't work on those weak areas. So that's been a huge emphasis for us throughout the season.
Caleb, describe how the communication has been now that Jeremiah is in Keenan's spot, and that communication getting to the rest of you guys. How has that transition gone?
It's been good. Jeremiah, we just say T-Lander, he's always been huge on his communication. Like we said, even if we're all wrong, we're all right. So just making sure we're all on the same page, always pushing each other. Obviously, Nealon is incredibly loud, and obviously road games, SEC games. So just always harping on communication, making sure that everyone gets the call and any checks that we have, just making sure we go back and forth so that we're all on the same page. So he's been great at it, and he continues to grow from it, and he's doing awesome.
In recent weeks, depending on the look, you guys have gone more three backer sets, more of a traditional 4-3 look. What do you like about that set and having the ability to have multiple linebackers out there on the field?
I think my favorite thing about it is obviously we just emphasize, like Coach Vin said, having dual backers, just showing that all of us can kind of play in three different spots, to give a different look for offenses. And it just makes it a little tricky because they don't know what we're going to come out in or different packages. But it's been fun because all of us just play free, and, we all communicate. We're with each other all the time. So just being able to have three backers in the game, we just get the rock and roll and go play.
What's Coach Banks like to play for? He obviously has such a different demeanor than some of the other coaches on staff, but what's he like to play for?
Coach Banks is one of those guys that you got to get to know on a personal level, but he means business at the end of the day. And but he's someone who truly cares a lot about his players. He's always going to make sure he puts his players first and everything. He's someone who makes sure that he builds on people and not puts them down. So, yeah, he's going to teach you what you did wrong, but he's going to make sure you learn from it, not just to yell without a purpose, but make sure there's a purpose behind it. But it's awesome to play against him. He opens up the playbook, sees things that we like, asks us constantly, what do we want to do this week? And just things we see, he's open about just making sure that players can communicate with coaches, and that it's not just coaches talking to players. So it's awesome to be around him, and he's a great coordinator.
How much does being able to hold opponents to under 20 points maybe play into your all's mindset or mantra throughout the week and just wanting to continue to play that stout defense?
It's huge, obviously. I mean, when we give up points, we're not satisfied, and it just makes us more hungry. We know that it's just little things that go a long way in a game. So we just can't give the opponents a step. But it has been a big milestone for us, and we're going to continue to harp on not letting up any points and continue to see what we did wrong to even get in that place. But from now on, I mean, it's awesome to be, like I said, it's fun to be around. It's awesome. It's great energy. But at the end of the day, too, we know what we need to do and how we're going to go about doing it. So just making sure that we continue to grow from it and not get satisfied with just holding people under 20 points, but trying to get them to 0. So.
Caleb, obviously you're from just down the road, or you went to high school just down the road from Lexington. What's this game mean to you, and how many sort of connections do you have either with that university or with the guys on the team or anything like that?
Yeah, obviously I've played against a couple of the guys on the UK's team. We're still boys at the end of the day, but it doesn't really mean anything too crazy. It's just another game. Every game we go into is a championship mindset, and we got to we have to, I don't know what word I'm trying to say, but we have to treat each week like it's a championship game because you never know what opponent's going to step up. So we go in every week knowing that we got to handle that business that week, and then we'll handle the next business next week. So it's not really too big for me. It's fun to play against those guys, but respect at the end of the day, and know we got to handle business.
Caleb, I'm sure you guys went into the season defensively confident what you guys put out there. Do you think you guys would be this good on defense?
For sure. I mean, We have to go in with confidence. That's always a big part of it. We know our preparation. I talked about last time I talked on here. Preparation goes a long way. We put in a lot of time outside of just what's required for football with just film study and just making sure that we talk to all three levels of the defense. So we knew that coming in that we're going to be a big factor this year, and we don't overlook that factor or underlook it. We just stay, where we're at in our mind and stay present in that moment and know that we got to handle every play one by one and not look at the big picture.
What do you know about, or what are you honing in on when it comes to their quarterback and Brock Vandegrift?
Great athlete. Like I said, every SEC quarterback is more than capable of delivering. We just got to go in and know his game plan and how he likes to play, his style. And, obviously I know he's a transfer, but he's here at UK for a reason. So we just got to go in and handle our job, stick to our game plan, and adjust whenever time comes or push comes to shove. But good athlete, and we just got to go out and play, have fun.
I know some of the coaches and players on offense had talked about for a couple of games, teams that were doing different things, showing different structure than maybe what was on tape. How much does that happen for you guys defensively with the offenses trying to show you things that they hadn't done on tape before they played you?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of tendencies. We always try to pick up on those things, but every team's going to give their best. And sometimes they're going to show us things that we've never seen before, like you just stated. But, at the end of the day, it comes back to our training and our ground rules of our defense and different coverages. So we just go back to our rules and what we know best, and that way we can just adjust off of it. It might not work then, but if we can somehow shut it down then we can look at the film and see what we need to grow from. And so it's just going back to our ground rules and stuff like that. Yeah, thank y'all.